everyone. Today I thought I'd show you what I do with my leftover vegetable peels. I make pakoras. You can use any vegetable peel that you have. So yesterday I made sweet potato, I made zucchini, I also had parsnips. So I've basically chopped all of my vegetable peels. I've got about 1.5 cups in here, and I've also added a diced onion to it. You can add any vegetable peel that you have, whether it's zucchini, any root vegetable, eggplant is really good as well, snow peas, anything that you have. Don't throw it out. Make vegetable pakoras. So what I've done here is, like I said, I've added about 1 medium-sized onion that I've diced, and I've added it to my veg. So you can see here, I've got my vegetables all cut up. I'm going to put the juice of about half a lemon. Just make sure you don't get your seeds in here. There we go. I'm going to add a bit of salt. So I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon. We'll test it after to see if that's enough. And obviously, if you have more vegetables than 1.5 cups, you're going to probably use a bit more salt. So I've put in about a small teaspoon of salt. Aria, you want to add in the dry spices?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. No, put it in. So 1 teaspoon of cumin, there we go, cumin powder. Oh, sorry, that's coriander powder. 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. There's that. Cumin powder. Yeah, that's good. Add in the whole thing. 1 teaspoon of garam masala. Okay, careful. Put it in. Okay, got it?
Yep.
And a little bit of turmeric. Probably about 1/2 teaspoon. You can put this in. Put it in the bowl.
Yeah?
Yep, put it in. And I'm also going to add some freshly ground pepper as well. So I'm going to mix this all loosely up. Oh, I forgot. Another thing I'm going to actually add is ginger. I've mashed up about 1 inch of ginger, so I'm going to add my ginger. And for an extra little kick, I'm going to add this spice. It's called like masala spice. It's for chaat. If you don't have this, it's fine. It has a bit of sourness to it because it has mango powder and pomegranate powder, and I kind of like that sourness of it. So I'm actually going to add just probably a teaspoon of that. Actually, not even 1/2 teaspoon of it into my mix. I'll show you what that looks like. So now I've got all these vegetables, peels with the onion, the ginger, and all these dried spices mixed up. I'm gonna try it now just to see how the salt is. It's okay. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. You want it to kind of be on the salty side, because once you add in your your chickpea flour, it won't be salty anymore. So to this, I'm gonna add about, I'm gonna add first about 1/2 cup, and then I'm gonna mix it to kind of see if I need more.
You got some in my eye.
Oh, sorry, got some in her eye. I'm gonna add a little bit more. So I'm probably adding the whole thing that I had in here, which was around 3/4 cup. No, I don't want you to mix because then your hands will get dirty. And I'll show you the consistency of what you're looking for. You basically want it to be able to be a little bit on the wetter side, but you want it to bind, to be able to hold together. So if you took some of this and made a ball, it would kind of hold. So I'll show you what I have here. So I don't know if you can see, but it's like, it is messy, but it's holding together. So if it's too wet, then you want to add more chickpea flour. And if it's not sticking together like this, then maybe add a little bit more water, a teaspoon or so of water. Okay, I'm gonna get my oil ready, and then we're gonna fry these guys. Okay, I'm back without my sous chef, and I've heated up my oil. If you want to test your oil, one thing you can do is just take like a little bit of your vegetable peels and put it in. And if it boils, like if you see the bubbles and it comes to the top, it's hot. If it just sinks to the bottom, and doesn't really do anything, then you know that you need to have your oil a little bit hot. What you don't want is to, for it to really start bubbling, and then the piece gets really dark really fast. Because then before your vegetable peels are actually cooked, before your pakoras are actually cooked, it'll be maybe black on the outside or burnt on the outside. But my oil seems to be good, so I'm basically just going to take a little ball, like make a loose, not going to make it really tight, just a loose ball, and drop it in. So I'm going to finish adding these, and then I'll show you what they look like. Hey everyone, so I'm back. I've pulled them out of the fryer, out of the oil, and I've sprinkled some sea salt, a little bit more sea salt on them too, while they're nice and hot. And I'm going to show you, and it actually did exactly make a dozen. So my 1.5 cups of vegetable peels made about a dozen of these vegetable pakoras. So this is the color that you're looking for. It's like a golden kind of color. And what you're looking for on the inside is that it's cooked, right? What you don't want is it to still have the raw flour on the inside. You want it to like, it'll be soft on the inside, but you don't want it to be, like, you still don't want to see the raw batter in the inside. So I actually thought that these would be ready in about 3 minutes, but I kept them in for 6 minutes. So it took me 6 minutes to get them to this color and fully cooked on the inside. So it depends on how big you're gonna make them. These are roughly about 1.5 inches in size. Yeah, and it took about, I left them for about 6 minutes. Now, we made these great pakoras. You can eat them with any chutney, or my kids eat them with ketchup, but I'm actually gonna show you my tomato and onion chutney. Okay, it's not my onion tomato chutney, it's actually my mom's onion and tomato chutney, and I make it all the time, and it goes amazing with these. So I'm gonna show you how to make that so you can dip these into the chutney. All right, now that we made these pakoras using our vegetable peels, I'm gonna show you a chutney that you can make that goes really well with them. This is my mom's chutney. It's her tomato and onion chutney. This is the best chutney you're ever gonna have. It is good for, like, to use in case you don't have salsa. It's actually better than salsa. I use it on toast, so I actually make cheese toast with like a really old cheddar and then put the chutney on top. It's super easy to make, and then it takes just a few minutes, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So I've put in a large tin, so the 28-ounce tin of tomatoes. You can use diced tomatoes, whole tomatoes, doesn't matter, but I've used whole tomatoes. I've cut up an 1.5 onions, so medium-sized onion, just really like into big chunks, just to get it in here in the food processor. I'm gonna throw in some green chilies, so I'm using 4. I like this spicy. If you don't like it so spicy, you could add 1 or 2, but I like it really spicy, so I'm adding 4. I'm just taking the stems off, so I've put 4 in there. And I'm also gonna add some salt. So it's a whole tin of tomatoes, so I'm gonna actually add about a tablespoon of salt. It's supposed to be a little bit on the salty side. And then I'm gonna add the juice of 1 whole lemon. If you get a seed or 2 in, it doesn't really matter, because we're gonna run this through the food processor anyway. All right, so I've got my 1.5 lemons in there, and to give it even a bit more of a kick, I'm adding about a quarter of a teaspoon of red chili powder as well. That's it. Now we're going to mix it up. That's it. Once all the onions are all mixed up, that's when it's done. It needs a tiny bit more salt. Eyeball it. And that's it. That is my mom's tomato and onion chutney. This is really good with samosas as well. My mom actually sells samosas at the market where she lives, and she serves it with this chutney, and this chutney is probably the most popular thing that people buy, in addition to the samosas, of course. But it's super easy to make. Like I said, you can use it instead of salsa when you're having nachos. It's great on cheese toast, pizza, anything. I use it for so many different things. Anyways, I hope you love it.